Hey everyone, you ever get that feeling, that if you could just get that next raise, that next promotion, that would be the thing to finally sort out your finances for good? Well, today, we're going to pull back the curtain on why that entire idea might be a trap from the very beginning.
Just let that one sink in for a second. And hey, this isn't just some cynical hot take. It's a fundamental description of the system we're all in. This one sentence, it's the core of what we're going to unpack today. And trust me, by the end of this, you'll never look at your paycheck the same way again.
All right, so let's start with what I call the salary trap. I want you to think about the smartest person you knew back in school. You know the one. Top grades, landed an amazing job right out of the gate, made everyone proud. Fast forward 10 years. Where are they now? So often they're just stuck. Still grinding, still waiting for that next performance review to prove their worth. This isn't a coincidence. It's not bad luck. It's actually part of the design.
So let's get real about what a salary actually is. Once you strip away all the fancy corporate talk, compensation package, remuneration, it's a simple trade. You are trading the best hours of your day, your best ideas, your peak energy, and in return, you get a predictable, fixed amount of money. And that word right there, fixed, that's the key to the whole trap.
And this is where it all starts to break down. Let's say you have a moment of genius, an idea that saves your company millions. Does your paycheck change? Nope, the profits go to the owners. You want to earn more? Well, that's not really up to you. Your employer sets the ceiling on your earning potential. And here's the most brutal part. The system is incredibly fragile. The moment you stop working, whether you get sick, you burn out, whatever the reason, the money just stops. That's not security, that's just a transaction.
So, here's the big secret. Not everybody is playing this game. The people who build real wealth, the business owners, the investors, they are playing a completely different game with a totally different set of rules. And these are the rules they conveniently forget to teach us in school.
Look at this. This explains everything. As an employee, your game goes like this. You earn money, the government immediately takes its cut in taxes, and then you get to spend whatever is left over. But for an owner, the game is flipped. They earn money through their business, they spend that money on business expenses, think cars, travel, tech, and then, only then, do they pay tax on the much smaller amount that's left. It's the same system, but they're playing by a set of rules that completely changes the outcome.
Now hold on, this is really important. I am not telling you to go quit your job tomorrow. That's not the point. The goal here is a huge mindset shift. We need to reframe what your salary is for. It's not the destination, it's not the prize. It's the starting line. It's the fuel you use to get into a much, much better game.
So how do we actually do that? How do we get into that other game? Well, let's look at the real wealth equation. This is all about understanding the actual mechanics of how money grows and how it can move you from just being an earner to becoming an owner.
Okay, think of it like this. Active income, which is your salary, is like being on a treadmill. You have to keep running and running just to stay in the same place. The second you stop, you're done. But passive income, that's like planting a tree. Sure, it takes some work up front, but once it's grown, it gives you fruit year after year, whether you're actively working on it or not. The wealthy, they spend their time planting forests, not running on treadmills. And that brings us to this simple, beautiful formula. So many people miss this. Building wealth isn't really about how much you earn. It's about how much of that money you keep and put to work for you, and then how long you let it grow. Earning a huge salary means absolutely nothing if you're just spending it all. What you keep is everything.
Let me show you exactly what I mean. Let's imagine two friends, person A and person B. They both have the exact same job, same 50,000 rupees salary. Person A spends what they earn, but person B does one tiny thing differently. They set up an automatic investment of just 10% of their salary, 5,000 rupees, into a simple index fund every single month. They both do this for 30 years. What do you think the difference is at the end?
1 crore and 70 lakh rupees. No, that's not a typo. After 30 years, that small, consistent habit turned into a massive fortune. And remember, person B didn't get a bigger salary, they didn't get lucky with some crazy stock pick. All they did was stay consistent, start early, and let their money do the heavy lifting for them. That is the power we're talking about.
So you're probably thinking, if the math is so simple and so powerful, why doesn't everyone do this? Why do so many smart, hardworking people still struggle? Well, it usually comes down to 3 common psychological traps that are designed to keep us on that treadmill.
First up is lifestyle inflation. This is the silent wealth killer. Every time you get a raise, your expenses just seem to magically rise to meet it. Second, we have the wrong definition of an asset. We buy things we think are assets, but they're actually stealing from us. And finally, the most human trap of all, procrastination. We're always waiting for that perfect moment to start investing, not realizing that time is the most valuable ingredient and we're losing it every single day.
So let's get crystal clear on this right now. An asset puts money into your pocket. A liability takes money out of your pocket. It is that simple. So that new car that needs gas, insurance, and repairs, it's a liability. That latest phone on a monthly plan, liability. But a mutual fund that pays you dividends, that's an asset. So many of us spend our entire lives buying liabilities and then wonder why we're not getting ahead.
Okay, so we've established that your salary, by itself, is not going to make you rich. And now you know why. But look, knowing all this stuff is totally useless if you don't do anything with it. So let's get to the most important part of this whole thing. Your first 4 steps to change the game, starting today.
Here is your action plan. It's simple. Number 1, pay yourself first. The day your salary hits your account, automate moving at least 10% to a separate investment account. Don't even let yourself touch it. Number 2, start an SIP, a systematic investment plan, today. Right now. It doesn't matter if it's 500 rupees or 5,000. The habit is infinitely more important than the amount. Number 3, build one small side income, just to prove to your brain that money can come from somewhere other than your employer. And finally, number 4, the next time you get a raise, decide right now that you're going to invest at least half of it before it ever hits your spending account. Don't let lifestyle inflation win.
I want to leave you with this. And yeah, it's a hard truth, but it's also the most empowering thing you can ever realize. Nobody is coming to save you. Not your boss, not the government. It's on you. And the good news is, you have everything you need to start. Your salary isn't the prize at the end. It was always meant to be the starting capital to build the life you actually want.
You know, the people who figure this out aren't smarter than you. They're not better than you. They just learned the rules of this other game a little bit earlier. And now you know the rules too. So the only question left, the only one that really matters, is right there. What are you going to do next?